This is one of my favorite pieces of retro technology. This is a microfiche reader. It's an example of a microform. Um, and it used to be pretty much the gold standard of data archival straight through to the early 2000s, I guess. And then it sort of vanished as computers became widespread as like an archival medium, as like CDs, DVDs, and eventually cloud hosting replaced pretty much everything else. So let me tell you a bit about this. Okay, so what is a microform? First and foremost, this device, this is a reader, this is a portable little reader. But this is an example of a microform, specifically a microfiche. This card shape is a fiche. You know, I'm sure many of you know exactly what this is, right? But there's a lot of people out there who just have never seen anything like this. So a microfiche is essentially a photographic, I think this is a positive, a photographic positive, like from a film camera. If you can see, those are little pictures, right? Those are pictures of pages of a document, specifically some sort of camera manual. This is like a General Electric TV camera. And these are the pages of a manual. They're much smaller than a normal page, right? They're shrunk, and you can see that if you count across, it's about 20 pages across. I think it's 20 pages across, and 9 pages down. So a total of 180 pages could fit on this one microfiche. And these are full pages, right? These aren't like low resolution copies of a page or whatever. It's the full page. And you would put this into a reader such as this one. And you would be able to read it. You'd be able to read the actual document by magnifying it and projecting it onto a screen. So one of the reasons these were really popular, especially microfiche specifically, is that they're exceptionally robust. Like, not just robust to time, right? The 50-year-old documents like this are still perfectly legible today, but they're also robust to abuse. So if this gets torn, you can tape it back together and it'll kind of pretty much still work. If this gets dropped, right, this won't get damaged. This can drop and it's not a problem. If this gets stuff on it, grease, water, oil, dirt, you can just clean it off. Yes, you can scratch it, right? This one definitely has been scratched. There's some, you can see some of the photosensitive, or whatever the photosensitive stuff in it is sort of corroding. That doesn't really affect the image quality though. But it definitely, it can get scratched and stuff, but it's still legible. And so these were really popular in applications like manuals, like this is a manual, right? Where you're going to be using these manuals in like automotive shops, in repair shops, where you need lots and lots of them for every different possible thing you might need. Like if you're running a car mechanic or something, or like an electronics repair shop, you need manuals for hundreds or thousands of pieces of equipment. And if those are in book form, they take up a lot of space. This takes up almost none. But also, if they get water on them, if they get coffee, if someone spills coffee on them, and if your manual is made of like paper, that's not so good, right? Whereas these are just acetate or whatever this material is, and you just rinse it off and you're fine. So these are like really robust to getting damaged. So what are the parts of this reader? We have this body here. If we open this up, we can see that there is a halogen light bulb inside, a little board that connects to a switch here that just has like some resistors and stuff on it. Behind this, behind the bulb, there is a lens here. Slightly finicky to get back in. This slot here is where the fiche goes. And so there's the lens here, and then there's another lens here that's controlled by these knobs. You can see it says focus. So that lens moves in and out to focus. Let's see. On the back, there's the battery pack intended to use rechargeable NiCad batteries, and on the side there's a charging a port for a charging cable. Also, back here on this surface on the inside, there's a mirror, like a slightly concave mirror, and then this piece here folds up. So let me put this back together. And let's expand this. Let's see what this looks like when it's fully open. Now, it's hard to even get in camera view. And so that's the screen. If I turn this on, you should be able to actually read it in full light. So let's put this in. It goes in this way. Nope, backwards. And look at that. You have the page. It's out of focus, so we just turn the knob until it's nice and crisp. There we go. And now you can read it. This has all sorts of information about this particular TV camera. It's got circuit diagrams and all sorts of stuff. You can see these spots. These are from the material decaying over time. But it doesn't affect the legibility of this. You can see also what I mean about robustness. You can see there's all these scratches on the actual microfiche. There's all sorts of stuff that's stuck on here, and it's still perfectly legible, right? So this is like a really interesting piece of technology, in my opinion, because it's extremely robust, quite high density for the time. There were versions of this that IBM made for like actual digital data storage that in the 60s that would hold genuinely would hold terabytes of data, which is like phenomenally impressive for the 1960s. So it's like fairly high density, especially if you're doing like documents and other like textual or visual data. And for there's a calibration. Right, so frequently you get calibration sheets like this so that you could make sure that everything was nice and in focus and your scales were correct. And I find this technology like really, really cool. It feels like a piece of an alternate future. Like that might sound a little silly because it really is not like all that high tech. These were first invented, probably. I know that the first microforms were invented in the 1800s, like the late 1800s. But they were never really commercialized until somewhat later. So it's not like a super high-tech thing, right? It doesn't require computers or anything. It's a very simple device. This is just a very simple rear projection display, right? Like, it's really not that complicated. It's a light bulb, some lenses, and some translucent plastic, and like a little piece of I think the mirror probably isn't even metal. It's probably just reflective acrylic or something like that. So it's very, very low tech stuff, but it feels to me very futuristic, but retro futuristic, like something out of 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's like a different future that was different future that was somewhat more advanced in some ways. I don't know. I love it, and I think that um, I think it's worth more people knowing about this kind of stuff. It's really cool, in my opinion. So I don't know. That's all I want to show you today. This isn't like some big, interesting new thing that you're going to learn. I just think it's cool that at some point in the past, there were companies like Micro Design, Bell and Howell, some other companies that were producing like small, portable, I assume affordable, because this is not like this is not very good plastic or anything. Microfiche readers that in principle you could use to store huge quantities of data. So that's it for this time. I just want to show you something really simple and neat. In the future, I'm probably going to show you a briefcase version of a portable microfiche reader that I think is really slick. Cool. So see you next time.